In 1941, the province of Ontario created Royal Botanical Gardens through a special act, which gave the young botanical garden the ability to develop and display gardens, prepare educational facilities and programs, attract visitors, acquire new lands, and undertake all of the activities of a botanical garden. In the 80 years that followed, diverse landscapes have converged, and RBG has established a national and international reputation as a living museum for science, a connecting point for children in their early embrace of nature, and creating a lifelong appreciation of the outdoors that extends through generations. A place of respite, a leader in sustainable gardening, ecological restoration, and plant conservation. This is our story. The beginning of Royal Botanical Gardens goes back even further to 1917, when the city of Hamilton, in search of improvement projects to beautify the city, identified Burlington Heights as a grand entranceway. Building on this vision, Thomas Baker McQuestion, politician, lawyer, and chair of the city's Park Management Board, imagines a botanical garden of national significance for Hamilton. And in 1927, the city buys 377 acres of land for a botanical garden. And to preserve Cootes Paradise, the area is declared Dundas Marsh Crown Game Preserve. 1 year later, the city proceeds with the Grand Entrance project and holds a design competition. Architect Carl Borgstrom is chosen to transform 55 acres and an abandoned gravel pit into a landscape of display garden. This is the first step in building the botanical garden. In 1930, King George V approves the name Royal for Hamilton's planned botanical garden, and by 1932, the abandoned gravel pit is transformed into the magnificent rock garden, later considered by many the garden's birthplace. Nearly a decade later, in 1941, the province of Ontario separates the land from the city of Hamilton and makes it a not-for-profit organization. Royal Botanical Gardens is born. In 1945, architect Matt Broman is hired as the garden's superintendent, becoming the first permanent staff member. Broman would design the arboretum and spring garden. Dr. Norman Radforth is appointed as the garden's first director in 1946, and in 1947, educational programming and other outdoor programming are launched along with RBG's first library. This included a membership program providing free admissions, tours, special exhibits, and publications for members. By the end of the 1940s, the Women's Committee, later known as the Auxiliary, was in operation. The 1950s bring great progress and expansion to the gardens as the development of the Arboretum adds 70 acres of open land and an extensive trail system is developed throughout the nature sanctuaries. The trail system is constructed largely around existing pathways, historical carriageways, and old roads. During this time, the Hendry Gate Monument is erected to pay tribute to farmland donated by the Hendry family. In 1958, RBG's headquarters are built next to this land. The 1960s brings even more growth to RBG as the Hendry family land is transformed into Hendry Park Gardens, which included the construction of a rose garden starting in 1965. In 1967, as Canada celebrates 100 years of Confederation, RBG opens the Centennial Rose Garden in Hendry Park, an iconic meeting place for years to come. At the Arboretum, the Katie Osborne Lilac Collection is built, and in 1968, the Nature Interpretive Center opens, providing RBG educators with a place to teach visitors of all ages about the value of nature. The center is home to numerous nature-related activities, day camps, and educational programs. By the 1970s, conservation efforts are in full swing with major cleanup projects, beginning in Cootes Paradise, an ongoing challenge that remains one of RBG's key initiatives to this day. RBG Center continues to expand with the addition of a large auditorium and new library. In 1977, the bird and leaf logo is launched and becomes synonymous with the RBG brand. The 1980s sees the construction of RBG's first indoor garden with the creation of the Mediterranean Garden and supplementary teaching spaces at RBG Center. Spring Garden is renamed Laking Garden to honor Leslie Laking, RBG's longest-serving director, and his wife Barbara, founder of the Volunteer Auxiliary. By the 1990s, Royal Botanical Gardens is recognized as a National Historical Site of Canada and becomes part of the Niagara Escarpment UNESCO World Biosphere Reserve. Measures against the invasive common carp take great leaps with the construction of the Cootes Paradise Fishway, a part of the Project Paradise campaign to support habitat restoration. A new century brings new projects, including the building of the new Helen M. Kippax Garden and the Gold LEED certified Camilla and Peter Dalglish Atrium. The atrium has become home to many of the garden's major exhibitions and events, and includes among its many green features 2 living-use living plant systems to improve indoor air quality. RBG, together with several partners, forms the Cootes to Escarpment Eco Park System, a park alliance dedicated to preserving the last remaining ecological corridor between the Niagara Escarpment and any major wetland on the shore of Lake Ontario. 2015 sees the completion of the single biggest capital project in RBG history with the rejuvenation of the historic Rock Garden, renamed David Braley and Nancy Gordon Rock Garden for local community champions and philanthropists. The garden opens to the public in the spring of 2016, boasting all new sustainable trends in garden design and management, while respecting the integrity of its heritage setting. Bold swaths of brilliant perennials provide sweeps of inspiring color and texture throughout all seasons, and a state-of-the-art visitor center becomes the new grand entrance and features a fully operational restaurant and conference facility. 2 years later, RBG continues its mission in sustainable, forward-thinking horticulture with the opening of the new Rose Garden. The new garden uses hardy rose varieties together with beautiful companion plants, creating a healthy ecosystem garden with extended blooms. In continuing the spirit of progress and innovation, 2019 sees the start of a new 25-year master planning project. In 2020, the master plan is completed. This 25-year plan will take RBG in a bold new direction, guiding the organization through its next chapter, helping to address critical environmental pressures that threaten its community and beyond, while building a foundation to protect green spaces for future generations. The plan identifies key initiatives that will transform RBG into a world-class destination experience and leading environmental center of excellence. This ambitious plan will bring great changes to Royal Botanical Gardens, and with great changes come a new visual identity. The logo symbolizes the bringing together of people and plants in our unique place to foster awareness and care for the well-being of our planet. Elements of the logo together represent all that makes Royal Botanical Gardens whole. Land, plants, water, wildlife, the people of Ontario, and the nation of Canada. With this new look comes a new era for Royal Botanical Gardens.
Royal Botanical Gardens will continue to offer our award-winning education programs for people of all ages with a goal of fostering lifelong connections with the natural world that will last for generations.
We will continue with critical conservation work in your community so your grandchildren's children can fall in love with nature, just like you.
We will continue to nurture world-class gardens and plant collections that provide unparalleled experiences that complement our arts, entertainment, and destination offerings.
And we will continue to realize our vision to create a world in which everyone is awake to the beauty, diversity, and necessity of plants, and from that consciousness, more actively works together to protect and preserve plant species and habitats, and by extension, our planet.
80 years is just the beginning. Through partnerships and community support, Royal Botanical Gardens will connect our diverse properties to create inspiring new destinations and experiences that engage people of all ages and attract visitors from across the world. A place for everyone to enjoy breathtaking landscapes, arts, culture, and entertainment, while fostering deeper appreciation and action for the health of our environment.